Hello, welcome back to Portugal and to the beginning of another archive series where we're going to go back in time, a couple of years I think, and we're going to show you some of the work that we did upstairs in the house to kind of get us back up to date with everything that's happened both upstairs and downstairs.
So, I will try and explain to the best of my ability and memory as to exactly what happened and why. So when we bought the house, the upstairs looks on video to be quite habitable, and we also thought it was, and we thought that there was not that much work up here. We'd be able to strip a few things back, put some basic plumbing and some new wiring in, and paint everything and be done.
Sorry, there is so much laughing in my head.
So that was the original plan, was to do the upstairs because it required a lot less work than downstairs. But as we went through that process of pulling things apart so that we could rebuild, every time we pulled something apart, we found that there was more things to pull apart and more things to pull apart. And then we discovered that there was this massive damp issue, drainage related issue. So we then stopped all the work on the upstairs to go and fix that. And that took us off track for like 18 months, which kind of brings us back to where we are now, which is we now have an upstairs that is mostly ripped out, but we can't get back to working on here because all the things that we need for up here, the services, are downstairs, and we had to do all the things to correct the downstairs before we could start rebuilding. So we're now almost we're at the rebuild stage now. We have plumbing downstairs, we have electrics going in, and we have made the choice to continue working on the downstairs, given that we got it so far along the ways. But it kind of goes some ways to explain why we started up here, but are now working downstairs.
Yeah, it's interesting for us because obviously we know the whole story and we have been very much involved in the whole story. But right back at the beginning, we made a decision that was based on what I think is fairly sound logic, which is get the services in place first. Plumbing, electrics, waste, heating, all of that stuff. And the decision that we made at the beginning, which we now probably wouldn't make the same decision again, was the place to start is the bathroom, because that one room has all of those things relating to it. So we thought it was a good place to start, and so that is where we're going to start in this archive series, ripping out the lovely old bathroom. That's not good.
So
there is a sink.
Safety first.
Once we'd made the exposed wires safe, we started the very satisfying task of removing this horrible old pink bathroom suite with matching loo roll. But this wasn't just an exercise in making something a bit less offensive to the eyes. When starting any big renovation project like this, the first things to get straight are the fundamentals to make sure everything is structurally sound, and then to start working on the services. So we need to move the toilet and work out all the levels for all the new plumbing. And we also need to take down one of the bathroom walls to make the space a bit larger and to create space for 2 new storage cupboards. So that's why we were starting here with ripping everything out, getting a blank canvas so that we could then start rebuilding and start putting everything in its new rightful place.
I don't think I've ever seen a shower tray cemented and bricked into place like that. But it's out, which is good. In fact, most things are out. We're going to leave the toilet so that we can actually use it. All of the water is disconnected so that we could take all the fittings out. So we'll just flush this with a bucket or something like that. At least we're not just using a bucket like we have done in previous renovation projects. So we'll try and leave that there for as long as possible. I think the next job is to tidy up some of this mess that I've made, chip out the rest of this concrete shower, and then probably have a think about getting rid of some of the tiles. Can you explain yourself?
I'm trying to work out the construction of this wall, which I believe is lath and plaster.
Looks like it.
So it does look like it. The thing I'm not too sure about. I love that we inherited this tool, it's great.
That was from the previous project.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. There looks to be something in the middle there. I can't really determine.
It looks like wood.
These windows.
I think they have these laths that go horizontally, and then they have these big timber posts
So let me just.
for why not. Wait.
It's gonna be a right bitch. Yeah. Wow, this is gonna take some work to pull apart.
It wasn't too bad, to be honest, when we had the right tools and had a good process going between the two of us. The plaster came off pretty easily because it's pretty blown in most places. And once we'd got the plaster off, we could then start pulling out some of the wooden laths and exposing the wall behind.
This is what I was trying to get to, is to see what's going on here.
But how are we going to get those out?
But the problem is going to be not at the floor, but
Yeah.
behind here. Because I really don't want to take this out. I just need to tap it at the bottom.
So we've been removing the plaster and some of these laths to expose the wall structure underneath. Here's probably the best one. You can see the depth. It's about this deep. So what is that? Maybe 1.5 inches or 40 mil, maybe 50. And we can see the lath on the other side coming through. Even a bit of concrete down here from probably where the bath flush connector is. And then we've also had to take off some of the trim and the skirting around here because it's like dust, which is in places, not all of it. But yeah, this is probably beetle damage. So we're going to try and replace all of the trim pieces like for like so that we don't lose the character, but we'll probably end up having to replace most of the stuff around the doors, maybe even some of the ceiling stuff as well, just because I think we're going to have to take this out so that we can take these out so that we can then break through and make a bathroom.
It's got like two, a bit fiddly, two, can't get it from this thing. There, that comes off.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
And then that gets hammered into the wall.
Oh, that's
Aren't
interesting.
they cute little fittings?
I was going to say, it's a good job you're a trained electrician, isn't it?
It's quite fortunate. Though I'm not trained in Portuguese electrics, which is very different.
Yeah, I think we're just going to have to go in with a bit of brute force here. We'll just do that.
Yes. We might just be able to pry these out.
we might just be able to pry these out.
That's what I just said.
I know. No, I'm going to cut it out when you said it, so I sound smart. Well, it turns out that neither of us are that smart. We tried chiseling out some of these nails, but these timbers were not going anywhere.
Oh, you see what direction it's done in though?
Is it going down?
Yeah.
So we decided to go and try from the other side.
I think it's just better coming from the other side for all of it.
Okay.
It's going to be no point coming from this side. It's just like cement.
Mm-hmm.
So it's as hard as
Like me.
like you.
So I decided to try a different approach entirely.
Kylie has been removing some of the trim from around the windows. This is one of the small bedrooms that's going to be turned into storage area, and then this bit here will be making up part of the bathroom. So the bathroom will have this window and the one next door in the actual bathroom. So I've been taking apart some of this stuff here. I was working on this the other day, very slow going, just trying to pull out all of this stuff. And essentially what we've discovered is the condition of some of the wood, which is not very good. Lots and lots of beetle damage, lots of just wood crumbling to nothing. So our hopes that we would be able to leave all the wood and just kind of sand it back and maybe paint it or do something else to restore it in place, that's not going to happen. I mean, we needed to remove a lot of this stuff around the window anyway, because this is going to be tiled rather than just lime plaster with wooden trim. But what it looks like is we're going to have to remove all of the wood trim, particularly stuff that has been attached to the walls, because, well, actually touching these here, you can feel the cold and a little bit of damp and moisture in them, which is why all of the wood has rotten and decayed. I mean, we don't know how long it's been here, so it's not a huge surprise that it's not in great condition. So we're probably going to have to rip out all of the trim everywhere up here and find a way of putting it back. The same kind of moulding patterns, the same design, the same style, so that we don't lose the character.
And so that's exactly what I started doing here, taking out some of the wooden trim around the edges of the room so we could remove these fascia board type things, which would then ultimately allow us to take down the walls, both the bathroom wall behind me and this one here.
So here we are at the end of a week of work on the bathroom, although it's turned into working on 3 separate rooms because we need to take down this wall and this wall. In terms of these walls, they're almost ready to come out. The bathroom proving a little bit more tricky because of all the cement that's behind the tiles. yeah, slow going there. But yeah, we're making some good progress. We're uncovering many interesting things, and we're not done yet, but I just thought I'd give you a quick look at where we're up to in terms of how much you can get done in a week with 2 people, although I was off for 2 days because I had to go and do some work. So yeah, that's where we're at. Pretty happy with progress so far, although absolutely knackered and going a little bit grey, I think.
So today I'm going to take down this ceiling. And the reason why, if you can see, there is a lot of bug damage. So as soon as I start putting the crowbar in, you'll see that there's loads of dust that will come down, and it's barely, I don't even know how it's staying together. So we're going to rip it all out, replace it all like for like, and know that for the next 30 years it's going to be good to go. So first of all, I'm going to take the light fitting down. We don't have the power on anymore, so it's quite safe to do that. And then get a crowbar in and start ripping it out.
The wall, well, the concrete off this wall is gone, so I just need to clear up all of this crap down here, and then maybe we can start looking at taking this out. But yeah, I'm going to clean up and then we'll see what we can do about getting this wall out. I think we can just, they're just fixed in at the top with some nails and at the bottom, so we're going to take this wall first because it's a bit easier. The bathroom wall it's a little bit harder. There's a joist at the top of this one, although this wall here isn't offering any support to that joist. It starts way up here in the stone wall, and then it goes all the way across here and over the top of the hallway. Now it's possible that this post here is offering some support, but we're not taking that out at all. These 3 are going to be staying, then all of these ones coming out across, and all of these ones here. That's the plan. Let's see how we go.
Stop.
Joist in the way there.
No, you need to bash it from your side.
Oh, there's a nail in this side.
Yeah, there's a nail on this side as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Nice.
Can you come and bash it from underneath?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, no.
You got it.
Can you get the orange one?
Yep. Stop here. Oh yeah, I see this. So the walls are down. There's a little bit more rip out to do, so we'll crack on with that. This is looking nice and spacious, eh? Quite open plan. That'll do it.
So with the last few bits of the rip out underway, we could really start to see the space that we'd created here. And it was nice to have this milestone of taking down the walls to really give us that sense of space, and to be one step closer to being able to get started with actually building something here rather than just demolition. Now that we've done this, we're able to put up the new stud walls that will mark out the storage area, mark out the area for the shower and the bath enclosure. That will allow us to work out all the positions for the plumbing. We'll be able to set our levels for the floor and for all of the drainage, and most importantly, work out exactly where the new soil pipe is going to be positioned so that we can move the toilet and achieve another big goal of having a flushing toilet again. And then we'll be able to connect everything up to the existing waste and set it down to the septic tank. And as you can see, it's going, but it's going pretty slowly, although that's entirely to be expected in these kinds of projects. It's always just about working out what are the priorities, making a plan, and then tackling them step by step, which is exactly what we'll continue to do. So stick around for more videos as the project progresses. But I think that's enough for now. There is some more rip out to do, but we'll save that for another time. So we'll see you then.